Everybody, you've been wanting to know what the best diet to eat is for a long time. You've been seeking and looking to know what foods are worst for you. And without a doubt, no matter what type of diet somebody's eating, whether it's carnivore, raw vegan, or something in between, no matter what it is, I today am going to give you the answer of what the best foods to eat are and what food you should completely eliminate. And I'm going to teach you the best way to do it and how. And it's not complicated at all. All you need is a phone, which most people have today, and you need some really dedication to doing one thing that's going to make you know what foods are best and what foods are worse, even more important. And I say what foods are worse because health doesn't begin with what you add to your diet, it's what you eliminate. First, eliminate the things that are creating the issues, and then your issues will begin to go away. You understand that? It's not about seeking what foods are best and seeking superfoods. It's about getting rid of the junk that's creating the problems to begin with. The body is an amazing machine. The body is amazing and it works so wonderfully well, and it heals itself and it gives body, if we give it what it needs, it does everything it needs to do to thrive. But when we interfere with that process, yes, by eating too much, too often, and too late, eating the wrong foods at the wrong times and the wrong amounts, we create these issues. But more important, the issue is eating the things that we shouldn't be putting on our bodies. And it's so simple how to know what to do and how the knowledge of how to avoid that. However, mentally and emotionally, it's not simple to put that into application because we're so used to these particular foods. And here is the answer, folks. All disease is contributed to by ultra-processed foods. And we live in a world today where I would just estimate that 90 to maybe even more, 95% of the foods people are putting in their body are ultra-processed. And by ultra-processed foods, bags, box, containers, and cans, and labels. In the old days, we were taught how to read labels, and we were told if we don't know how to read it or interpret it or understand something, we just need to educate ourselves on the labels. It's not about labels. Here's the thing, folks. The food you put in your body shouldn't have a label. If it has a label, it means it's processed and most likely ultra-processed. No food do I put in my body has a label. The only wrapper around my food is the skin around a fruit or a vegetable. And it's been that way for 30 years. Now take it, unfortunately, because people are so obsessed with plastic today, they'll put my apples that I buy in the store in a plastic bag. So I guess that's considered a wrapping other than the skin around the food. And plastic, exposure to plastic and microplastics is just, now people are getting information to realize how bad that is. That's another video another time. But the point being is, if you're getting food out of a bag, box, container, or can, it's most likely ultra processed and not good for you. If you are getting a food that has a label on it, it's not about educating yourself to read the label. That's helpful to know exactly what's in the food, but even more helpful is, I don't need it if it has a label. So we got to think about this. Now, what foods have or need no label? Fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. That's it. And somebody might say, who doesn't have knowledge, I can't just live on that. Yes, you can. I've been doing it for 30 years. You can live on fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, and that's it. But even with fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, when you process that and you mix it up and you add preservatives to it and you stick a label on it, you're taking something that is wonderful, that our Creator created for our bodies to thrive, and now you're making it not wonderful. It's going to create disease in the body, and that's the processing of those things. See, things start out on my fruit trees as fresh fruits, which we were designed and created to eat and thrive for. But when you add a bunch of things to that fresh fruit, you no longer have a fresh fruit to begin with if it's sitting on a shelf for 3 months or in some container or something else with labels and preservatives and all these things. But here's the thing. Let me just get to it because they can get to it. So I'm going to get to it. Here's the thing. If you are going to eat something with a label, and I have to admit, I'm in the process and learning. I have children and I do not want them to eat things with labels, but they do. I'm being honest and transparent, they do. But when I go to the store, here's how I do this, and here's what I want you to do. There's a fellow who goes to Aldi's and Costco's and Walmart's and these places, and he looks at all the food items, and he has great videos. I'll put the video, the YouTube channel below. His name is Bobby, and he talks about the different foods, and he talks about ingredients, and he talks about the ultra processing of the food. But he's created an app on the cell phone or the smartphone, if that's what they call it today, or the dumb phone, and it's called the Bobby app. And in the description, I'll put the best way I can describe it so you can find it at the web store. I don't know if there's a description on the web store for it, but it's called the Bobby app. It's very popular. And basically, all processed food, all foods with labels, have a barcode on them. And that barcode was designed to supposedly protect us, right? It's not protecting us. It means it's ultra processed. That's a great sign to know this maybe shouldn't be in my bodies. But what the Bobby app does is it looks through all the ingredients for you in the app. You no longer need to have the knowledge of, is this healthy or not? It looks through all the ingredients in the app, and it tells you if something is Bobby approved or not. If it's Bobby approved, you get a thumbs up and it's green. If the food is not Bobby approved, it's red and it says not approved. But it goes beyond that. It tells you why it's not approved. And certain things might be obvious that aren't good for us. But then there are other things. For example, we know, or hopefully we know, that something called artificial flavors are not good for us. However, we think natural flavors are good for us. The problem is there's not much difference between natural and artificial flavors all of the time. Sometimes natural flavors are okay, but natural flavors is a wide category and can mean hundreds of different things. Not necessarily healthy. So if something has artificial or natural flavors, the Bobby app will say not approved. Basically, you shouldn't eat anything that has flavoring added to it, whether it's natural or artificial. But you don't need to know all that now. You just need the Bobby app, scan the barcode. The barcode should be the first warning that this isn't good and it's been processed. The next warning is it has a label. Now you can find out for sure if it's okay or not. Another one is the high amount of seed oils and the unhealthy oils that are in foods today. A lot of people don't understand. The average person hears vegetable oil. It's vegetables. It must be good. Well, we know now it's not the ideal thing. So if you scan something with the Bobby app, I'll tell you it's not good. It has these oils in it, and this is why it's not good. You should get to a place where 100% of the food you're eating is at least Bobby approved. Now, do I personally agree with everything that he approves? No. You know, he looks at meat products and he looks at products that have dairy in it and animals in it. I personally am a vegan, a raw food vegan. I don't eat cooked food or animal products. However, if someone chooses to do so, I think it's a great idea still to use the Bobby app, because it'll tell you which of those animal-based products are definitely more toxic than the others based on the ingredients and the standards of those products. And as for anything you find in a supermarket, bag, box, container, or can, the Bobby app can help give you this information. You will be surprised when you go through the shelves in your stores and you find that maybe 95 to almost 100% of the foods you're getting in your store, except for the fruits and vegetables, are not Bobby approved. Now, when we get to the fruits and vegetables, still organic matters. organic makes a big difference. Even though the orange or the apple might not have its label or its barcode, you still want to try to find and buy organic if you can. At least learn about the Dirty Dozen, which talks about the 12 worst foods to get non-organic if you have to. So if you have, for example, an orange and an apple, the orange might not be as bad because there's a thick skin around it. It might not be as bad as the apple, which has a really light skin around it. So when they spray it, it's really bad. So you definitely don't want to get apples. They're part of the Dirty Dozen. So look up the list for the Dirty Dozen. You can find it on Google or on the internet. I'll even try to post a link below. Those are the organic vegetables you definitely want to, or the vegetables and fruits you definitely want to get that are not healthy at all if they're not organic. And then there's the rest. You can look at the different levels and just research that. But I'm excited about the Bobby app here, and it's confirming what I've been doing for 30 years. Ultra processed food is absolutely destroying our health, and even in small amounts, it can be very, very dangerous for us. So I definitely recommend you avoid it. I'm giving you these tips here so you can learn, you can grow, and you can be healthier and be better. And I've been doing this for a long time on my member site, Raw Life Health Show. I've been interviewing people, and I've been talking for years of what we can do to be as healthy as possible. And the videos on there are commercial free, ad free, and there's so much more you can get there. You can check that out at the link below as well. Thank you everybody for watching. Please put your comments below if you use the Bobby app, and there's some other apps that do the same thing, but this is the one I use, and I know the videos are very good and educational online as well. And Bobby's been doing what I've been doing, so we could say Paul approved or not approved. And there you go. So thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great day and a great raw life.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show.